Not everyone is born with confidence. We either learn it by accident or we learn it on purpose. So keep watching this video and I'm going to tell you about some tricks that you can use to be more confident. People can be really lucky and learn to be confident because of their surroundings. So it could be parents, it could be one parent, it could be siblings, it could be other relatives, it could be the people you grew up with in school, a particular teacher. It could be anything in your environment that allows you to subconsciously learn and just be confident. Because quite often when you meet really confident people, they don't really understand how it's happened. It's just happened. And if they were to think about it, they might say things like, oh yeah, you know, my dad's really super confident, and it's rubbed off on them. You can also be in a situation where you have all of these opportunities, all of the most confident people all around you, but still it doesn't rub off on you. You never know how it's going to turn out. And for that reason, we end up with a lot of adults that are super confident without knowing why, and lacking confidence and assertiveness also without knowing why. But there's lots of things you can do to be able to get confident, to be able to be more assertive. So I'm going to talk about a few of those things that you can do, and some of them I think you're going to be kind of surprised about, to say the least. So the first thing when you're thinking about being more confident is to look around at the people who you see are confident and think about what they do. So firstly, how do you talk? Now, at the moment, I'm making a video, so I'm talking in a confident way, but I'm talking in a way that I like to make videos. Perhaps I wouldn't speak to somebody face to face like this. So you have to think about the different times when you're talking, and that you talk differently in different times, particularly with different people. So you could imagine meeting your boyfriend or girlfriend's parents, for example, speaking to your best friend, speaking to your mum, having a job interview. You speak differently in all of these situations, or perhaps you don't, perhaps you speak exactly the same. So a good thing to realize is, how are you going to be? Robert Greene, very famous for certain books like The Art of Seduction and Power and things like this, he says that we all wear different masks depending on what we're doing, which is very true, because we wear a different mask when we talk to children, we wear a different mask when we greet pets, we wear a different mask when we speak to our mums, and everything depends on who we're speaking to and the situation we're in. If somebody's very sad, we act a particular way. If somebody's very happy, we act a particular way. But it's a very good idea to think about this and think about how you converse, how you talk to people, and how you can do it in a more confident way. What do you need to change about the way you talk to people to sound more confident? Perhaps you need to slow down your voice. Always you need to be clear so people can understand you. Nobody wants to hear anybody mumbling or anything like that. If you have a stutter, then that's fine. But you just take your time and just express yourself in the best way that you can. Now, when it comes to the way your body language is, we could talk about body language for years, but simple things with body language are, when you're stood up, is to stand up straight, shoulders back if you can. Have your chin up, okay? Never down. You don't want to be slouched in any kind of way. No fidgeting, not talking to someone while you're fidgeting. You know, quite a lot of people will be touching different things, and that's fine. But in general, we're kind of not fidgeting and we're kind of staying still. Shoulders and feet pointing towards the person we're talking to. Eye contact as well. Now, this is difficult for some people. My dad actually he doesn't have eye contact. He'll talk to you and look in your eyes for a little bit, and then he'll gaze away. And it's funny for me, because I'll be sitting there staring at him for ages, waiting for him to look back. And sometimes I can time it, obviously, because I speak to him a lot, and I can look away the same length of time. And then when I know he's going to look, I'll look back. So we lock eyes again. But in general, you need to have good eye contact. When you shake hands with someone, you need to have a firm handshake. Nothing that's going to break the other person's fingers, but something that shows assertiveness, that shows a confidence, all right? Because this is how it feels. This is how we perceive a good handshake. Somebody shakes your hand and it's very weak. It's a strange feeling, I find. So this is, maybe subjective, but this is what I would suggest, to have a firm, solid handshake of confidence. Another way to be more confident is to the way you introduce yourself and the way you introduce other people to other people. I mean, how many times have you met a friend and they're with somebody you don't know and you have to introduce yourself? And this is It's a strange situation, but somebody who's confident, or I mean, sometimes this can happen and the person's absent-minded, they don't think, or they think you already know them, or they're just happy to see you, so this person over here doesn't exist for a moment. That's fine, but in general, a confident person would always say, hey, this is so-and-so, I know them from there, this is my brother, this is my best friend from work, this is whatever, and you make that introduction. So you take control of the situation, so you make everybody feel comfortable. Confident people make everybody feel safe, and make everybody feel comfortable. People love the way I help people because I have very much confidence in what I'm doing. And this brings me to my next topic about confidence. It's like right now, I'm talking as I'm thinking. I plan this in my mind in a way, but in general, I'm just freestyling it, if you like, because I have confidence in what I'm talking about. And I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. But this shows authenticity. So you're watching me now thinking, well, this isn't perfect, but what is perfect? And to have the confidence to do things that are not perfect, but not really care because you're just getting the information across. This is also confident. So nothing has to be perfect, but you have to be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. There's nothing worse than pretending you know about something because you can see through that, and that's not a great thing to do. Assertiveness is that taking over the situation, introducing your friend, being in a restaurant and not being arrogant, but just being in control to a point. So when everybody's sort of there with their menus and nobody really knows what they're doing, you can take control. And when the waiter comes over, you can be the middle person between everybody else and that waiter. You know, okay, so what are we all having? Okay, so you're going to have this. And so you take control. Otherwise, things can take forever. So this is a great example of someone who's got confidence and is assertive, and everybody else, apart from the competition, who are super confident, of course, but everybody else normally are really thankful that you were there to do that because it just makes it easy. Okay, so this is another great thing to bear in mind. Be knowledgeable, be assertive. Other things to consider are the extra things you can do. So being confident to me, if you're not a confident person and you want to be confident, then you need to give yourself every advantage you can. That's the point I'm trying to get across. So people always say things like, when it's a special occasion, you get the finest china out. When it's a wedding or whatever it is, you wear your best clothes. Well, I believe that life's too short to save these things for special days. Do your best all the time. Use the best of the things that you've got all the time. Always look your best. Always have fitted clothes. Always be well groomed. Always have your fingernails correct. Whatever it is, just be as immaculate as you can. Not because you're trying to impress anyone else, not for that reason, just because when you look at yourself in the mirror, when you look at yourself in general, you feel good. All right, because you know those days where you look in the mirror and you go into a party and you've got your best outfit on and you've had your hair done and whatever it is, and you look in the mirror and you think, oh yeah, I wish I looked like this all the time. That's what I'm talking about. Look like that all the time and you will have the confidence that you have in those moments, but you will expand it to the rest of your life. This is key. So don't save the fine china, just use it all the time. And then when it breaks eventually, just get some more, because it's worth it to live your life that way. I believe anyway. And the next thing I want to mention, there's two more things I want to mention is, and these are kind of controversial. I say they're controversial, I always do when I talk about them, but they're not really. But I have to say that because the odd person might think so, is model someone else. So I've got a running joke with one of my friends, and he says when he's faced with a situation he doesn't know what to do, he says out loud, what would Jamie do? And I say to him, I always say, what would Peter do? And it's just a running joke. But in reality, if you know somebody who's better at doing things than you are, and we all do, then you can think, what would they actually do? How would they be in this situation? If they were faced with this right now, this date, this job interview, this argument, how would they deal with it? Because you can imagine how they would deal with it. So you imagine it, and then you think, right, I'm going to do that, but from my mouth, with my body, with my posture, and then you do it, and then because this is like it's like acting, but you're learning, but you're making it your own. It's like somebody that tells you a joke. They probably didn't make that joke up. Millions, I promise you $1 million, they didn't make a joke up. They got that from somebody else and they passed it to you and you think, oh, they're really funny. They're not. You're just as funny by passing that joke on. So it's the same with confidence. You can be exactly how you would expect confident people to be. And this brings me to my next thing, fake it till you make it. And this is perhaps a controversial thing, but you can. Because if you picture yourself as the person that you want to be, that confident person, then you start piecing it together like an action figure or like a Barbie doll. So you can close your eyes and think, okay, so how would the super confident version of me look? Okay, so I'd have clothes like that. I'd stand up straight, or I'd sit up straight. I'd cross my leg. I don't usually cross my leg, but I'd cross my leg. I'd have these kind of shoes on. Okay, and how would I talk? Okay, so I wouldn't swear. I'd open my mouth more. I'd talk more clearly. I'd have eye contact with the person, firm handshake, introduce my friends. So you're thinking about it. So then you just do it as though you've already done it, and nobody knows. Just like these people that go to work and they pretend they know what they're doing and they learn the job on the first day and then they learn more and they learn more, they learn more. This is what you're doing, but with confidence. And it's fine. You build up and you learn, you build up and you learn. And you know what, in the end? Confidence builds confidence. And that's the truth. Confidence builds confidence. When you do something out of your comfort zone, then all of a sudden, that's not out of your comfort zone. That is your comfort zone. And then the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, before you know it, whatever you're faced with, it's all your comfort zone. Here's a microphone, speak in front of 600 people. Brilliant. There you go. Just make it up, no problem. And you just get on with it. That's an extreme example, but these are the kind of things that you need to think about, because if you're worried about speaking to a group of people, you speak to one, then you speak to two, then you speak to more, and then you speak to everybody, and you build up. This is what it's all about. Small steps and you'll get there in the end. So there's some top tips to be more confident, but you can be, but you just got to take yourself out of that zone. I mean, why don't you try and do something? If you think you're one of these people that you're watching this video because you want more confidence rather than somebody that's just watching this video because you're interested in it, then why don't you do something this week or even today that takes yourself out of the comfort zone to create that situation and make that situation your comfort zone? Perhaps go and speak to somebody who you don't know, but they're cool. Maybe they could do with some help doing something, and you go and speak to them and say, hi, listen, I was wondering if I could help you out in some way. I don't want any money. Maybe I get some shopping for you. Maybe I can do this, whatever it is. And you might be a bit nervous going to speak to them. You have a conversation, you get to know them a little bit, and then that's it. You'll feel great. They'll feel thankful, but then you'll be able to do that whenever you want with anyone, and it just opens up all the doors. It might sound silly, but just to do things like that means you're more open to speak to bosses, colleagues, people in the street for directions, whatever it is, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and that's it. And then before you know it, you're president of America. Imagine. So there we go. Quite a lot of waffle, but you can see I love talking about these kind of things, and these tips are really, really useful because this is what I did in part of my life. And so many of the clients that I've helped. I hope you've watched, I hope you've enjoyed this video. You see, I can't even speak properly, but it doesn't matter because it's not about being perfect. It's about being confident, and it's about getting your point across and not caring about how you've done it, as long as you do it in your most authentic way. I could easily pause this video right now and go back and re-say what I've just said. But what's the point? This is me, this is authentic. And I'm happy like this. And this is how we've got to be. When you're happy with yourself, the confidence just comes out of you. But if you're second guessing yourself, thinking, oh, this could be better, that could be better, this could be better, everything could be better. This could probably be better ironed. Everything could be better. I've not even really checked my hair. Everything can always be better. But you just got to have a plan and stick to it, and then don't worry about everything else, and the confidence just comes out. So like I was trying to say, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with a friend. Give it a like. Click the little bell, the notification, so you can find out when the next video is coming. I'm going to start to change the things I'm talking about now. I've been talking about a lot of stuff, but I'm going to start talking about more confidence things, more visualization things, more things about becoming a moderate drinker, for example. I'm going to focus on this for a little while now. So if you're interested in those kind of things, then that's what's going to be coming up in the next few videos. So again, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. wherever you are.